Shared decision-making is a crucial clinical reasoning skill and an integral part of person-centered care, since it puts the person at the center of their health decisions, empowering them to be more involved in their own health care. Shared decision-making should not only cover the consultation between the healthcare worker and the patient, but also the other health professionals involved in the treatment plans and options for the patient. Shared decision-making, short SDM, seems to be an obvious model to most healthcare workers. However, many decisions are not taken as collaboratively as desired, and often it is just explained to the patient what and why the best way forward is to treat a condition as part of the informed consent model. Interprofessional shared decision-making often needs to be considered, since care options and health decisions may be based on the interprofessional deliberation with the person themselves. A person also doesn't often have time to contemplate day-to-day health decisions much, so the ideal goal of SDM is to be able to understand the person enough to be able to answer, "What would you do if you were me?" This is not always possible, such as in urgent situations where the informed consent model should suffice, but any effort to integrate SDM will lead to more individually optimized health decisions. So what are the benefits? SDM and collaborative deliberation have been shown to lead to positive effects on patients, healthcare workers, and even healthcare environments and systems. SDM as standard practice would lead to optimization of health-related decisions for the individual and an improved relationship between patients and healthcare workers, potentially leading to an increased healthcare worker satisfaction and better work relationships. On an organizational level, realistic expectations and optimized use of resources resulting from SDM leads to potentially reduced malpractice costs and more cost-effective care. Many models have tried to translate SDM concepts into practice. A comprehensive model of SDM was developed by Evelyn et al. In 2012, where the SDM process was divided into 3 parts: choice talk, option talk, and decision talk. Choice talk conveys awareness of choice to the patient, inviting them to deliberation, and is initiated either by a patient or a clinician. This may occur before the clinical encounter. In option talk, patients are informed about treatment and care options in more detail. Awareness of options leads to the development of initial preferences based on existing knowledge. Decision support is designed in 2 formats. Firstly, brief enough to be used by the clinician or patient together, and secondly, more extensive, designed to be used by patients either before or after clinical encounters, for example through papers, DVD, or the web. In decision talk, the patients are supported to explore what matters most to them and how this relates to the health decisions to be taken after having been informed. Deliberation is a process where patients become aware of choice, understand their options, and have the time and support to consider what matters most to them. It may require more than one clinical contact, not necessarily face-to-face, and may include the use of decision support and discussion with others. The goal is to arrive at informed preferences. They are the personal preferences based on what matters most to patients, predicated on an understanding of the most relevant benefits and harms. This process will eventually lead to a choice. Another practical approach developed is the shared approach, which describes the 5 essential steps of shared decision-making. S. Seek your patient's participation. Invite the patient to participate in health decisions. H. Help your patient explore and compare treatment options. Make sure the patient is aware of all options available to them, no matter the healthcare worker's preference. A. Assess your patient's values and preferences. It's about assessing the possible outcomes of each decision based on the person-centered approach. R. Reach a decision with your patient. Oftentimes, giving time for the patient to think about health decisions and even discuss them with trusted persons or other trusted healthcare workers leads to more individualized decisions. E. Evaluate your patient's decision. It is important to remember that a patient might be misunderstanding aspects of the health decisions being presented, and in a bid to avoid paternalistic practice, we might not re-evaluate. It is important to evaluate a patient's decision, no matter what it may be, to make sure they fully understand the decision being taken as part of shared decision-making. We hope that this video could help you to understand shared decision-making. Thank you for watching.